Welcome to a demonstration of the National Diabetes Prevention Program Customer Service Center, or CSC for short. This webinar serves as an introduction to the National DPP CSC. As a part of our demonstration today, we are going to introduce the purpose of the CSC, highlight key features and functions of the CSC, and provide a brief demonstration of the CSC. Hopefully, you will leave today's presentation with an understanding of what the National Diabetes Prevention Program Customer Service Center is, how it benefits your organization, and how to start using it today. Before diving into the CSC, it's important to summarize where we are today, because it informs how we will adjust the CSC in the future to provide the best possible service to those who support or deliver the National Diabetes Prevention Program Lifestyle Change Program, or LCP. As the national DPP grows, we understand it's critical to be responsive to questions for CDC representatives, also known as requests for technical assistance from a wide variety of stakeholders. This includes CDC-recognized organizations, lifestyle coaches, both public and private payers, healthcare organizations, employers, state quality specialists, and others seeking information on how to successfully engage with the national DPP. To address the increase in demand for assistance, we created the National DPP CSC, an online one-stop shop where organizations can access resources, submit a question to a CDC representative, also known as submitting technical assistance requests, and participate in discussions with other partners of the national DPP community. Since its inception in 2018, the number of customers using the CSC has grown at a rapid rate, and as such, the CSC has expanded and refined its capabilities to accommodate the needs of its customers. The purpose of the CSC is to provide a hub for resources, training, and technical support for CDC's Diabetes Prevention Recognition Program, or DPRP, delivery organizations, and other national DPP stakeholder groups. The CSC houses CDC-developed and CDC-sponsored resources, including critical program announcements, toolkits, reports, recorded webinars, trainings, access to frequently asked questions, and more, which are all freely available. You can quickly find the resources most relevant to you through a robust search function, filtering by topics and subtopics, or by quick access to key resources curated by CDC representatives. If you are unable to find what you are looking for, you can ask a question by creating a brief profile on the CSC, and a technical assistance coordinator will respond to your request. The interaction between you and the coordinator will be linked to your profile. As a CSC customer who has created a profile, you can also participate in discussions with others in the national DPP community via the community board to ask questions, respond to your peers, share information, and learn from your peers. Creating a profile through the CSC will also ensure CSC customers will receive notices through the National DPP Info mailbox. These notices contain updates on trainings, webinars, and other events hosted by the National DPP, as well as notifications of new training resources that will enhance program execution. The CSC also has a National DPP events calendar to highlight upcoming webinars and trainings. The CSC provides technical assistance through a group of highly trained technical assistance coordinators who are well-versed in the DPRP standards and operating procedures and the National DPP curriculum to provide quick, reliable, and accurate technical assistance within days of a request. They are supported by a group of subject matter experts, or SMEs, ensuring your organization is properly serviced. These SMEs include CDC project officers and partners from the National Association of Chronic Disease Directors and the American Medical Association, who will work with our technical assistance coordinators to answer questions you submit through the CSC. By increasing the number of SMEs, we are able to cover a wider and deeper range of topics related to the national DPP. In terms of the types of questions CDC will address, as you'll see on this slide, we will address your questions related to the DPRP standards and operating procedures and other DPRP processes, insurance and employer coverage, marketing, enrollment and retention, screening, testing and referring, and more as it pertains to the national DPP Lifestyle Change Program. This range of customer service helps the CSC be your one-stop shop for all technical assistance, allowing your organization to focus on what really matters, program delivery. While we are able to respond to a more diverse range of inquiries than ever before, there are a couple of subject areas that the CSC will not provide technical assistance. So we want to cover these quickly today. Inquiries about Medicare reimbursement and the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services Medicare Diabetes Prevention Program, or MDPP for short, should be referred directly to CMS. Please direct all questions regarding the MDPP expanded model to CMS at cms.force.com/MDPP/ for other input that may be helpful. If you submit an inquiry about MDPP through the CSC, we will refer you to the link provided on this slide. As this next section covers, we have some processes that are specific to the DPRP that will continue to live outside of the CSC. To be more specific, applications for CDC recognition, alternate curricula approval, and organization-specific data questions or submission will remain direct functions of CDC's DPRP. However, if you have questions that are related to CDC recognition, you can submit them through the CSC, and our technical assistance coordinators will navigate you to the appropriate resource or team for a response. The process for receiving technical assistance is quite simple and was created with customer service in mind. If you are unable to answer your question using the CSC knowledge base, the next step is to submit an inquiry for technical assistance through the CSC. To do this, you must create a brief profile by selecting Login and then register on the homepage. Once signed in, there are two ways to submit an inquiry for technical assistance through the CSC. The first is to select Contact Us/Contact Support via Contact Us on the navigation bar of the homepage. The second is to select the Technical Support Request tile button located in the middle of the homepage. Once an inquiry has been submitted, you will be able to log on to the CSC at any time to see progress in your request and chat with your assigned technical assistance coordinator. If a technical assistance inquiry is increasingly more difficult, our trained SMEs can step in to resolve an inquiry. To ensure that common inquiries are added to the CSC knowledge base, our support team works with our technical assistance coordinators and SMEs to produce frequently asked questions knowledge articles that are periodically added back to our CSC knowledge base. Before we begin the National DPP CSC demo, we want to quickly clarify the relationship between the CSC and the CDC Division of Diabetes Translation National Diabetes Prevention Program website. The National DPP website, shown on the right-hand side of the page, serves as a primary entry point for the general public. The CSC, shown on the left-hand side of the page, is a source of supporting tools, resources, materials, and associated technical assistance for our national DPP stakeholder organizations. With additions made to improve functionality since the launch of the CSC in 2018, we have developed resources to optimize the customer experience of finding resources and information of the national DPP, receiving technical assistance, and providing feedback and input. On this slide, you see a screenshot of the homepage for the CSC, along with descriptions of the main homepage features and functions. In the top right corner, you can locate the login button. For new customers, we encourage you to create a brief profile to utilize all the features of the CSC. Under the login feature, you can see the navigation bar, which can route customers to different parts of the site. First, you'll notice the Home button, which will bring you back to the home page from wherever you are on the site. The About Us feature allows customers to quickly access information about the CSC to get up to speed on how to use it. You can also click About the CSC in the center of the homepage to get to the same spot. Resource Topics allows you to select common resource topics from the drop-down menu to find the support you're looking for. In the navigation bar, you can also select Contact Us to submit a question to a CDC representative, also known as a technical assistance inquiry, or provide site feedback. The Community Discussion Board will enable you to collaborate with other national DPP organizations. You will also find a calendar to track important events. And lastly, the More section under the navigation bar will allow you to submit a success story of your program's achievements, view your requests, and access the CSC newsletter when logged into your profile. The search bar located underneath the navigation bar is the easiest way to find specific content. This feature allows customers to enter keywords to quickly gather information and resources to answer their questions about delivering the national DPP. The three tile buttons in the middle of the homepage about the CSC, technical support request, and community discussion board will allow customers to learn about the national DPP website, submit a question to a CDC representative, and access the community discussion board. These tile buttons offer a quick route to commonly used features of the site. Please note, to submit a question to a CDC representative or access the community board, you will need to be logged into your profile. On the right-hand side of the homepage, you can also see the most recent content posted to the CSC. Lastly, at the bottom of the page, there is a section highlighting key resources that contain information critical to obtaining CDC recognition, successfully delivering the program, and satisfying program or DPRP requirements. With that, let us dive deeper into the actual online National DPP CSC site and demonstrate key features. When you arrive at the CSC homepage at nationaldppcsc.cdc.gov, this is what you will see. The homepage provides a landing for searching for the content that you need, asking a CDC representative a question, finding relevant new content and key resources, and a forum to ask and answer questions from the national DPP community. When arriving at the homepage for the first time as a new customer, we do ask that you create a free profile to access all of CSC's features, including access to our DPP info mailing list, participation in the community board, submitting technical assistance request inquiries, contacting our CSC support staff, and submitting general feedback. It takes a couple minutes to register and create a brief profile to access these features. When you are directed away from the homepage, you can select the Home button in the navigation bar to return to the homepage. Without a profile, all CSC customers will have access to all resource pages and content, new content, and the calendar without logging in. First, we will take a look at some of the features that can be accessed without a login. First, the navigation bar is found just underneath the login button and can be used for all the features listed earlier. Selecting the About Us button will navigate you to a page where you can view an overview of the CSC, review this demonstration again in the future, and access critical resources for getting started with the CSC. The next navigation bar feature is the Resource Topics dropdown to help you find resources that are most relevant for your needs. By hovering over the Resource Topics dropdown list, you will see groups of resources related to specific parts of the national DPP. When you click on a resource topic, the page will display additional subtopics to further narrow in on the resources relevant to your needs. Those resources will be displayed on the left-hand side. You can click on resources, read the summary, download the attachment, or open a video if applicable. The resources are a mixture of documents, toolkits, videos, recorded webinars, and frequently asked questions. To quickly look for any of these resources, you can also utilize the search bar by entering a keyword of your choice. This is often the quickest way to find what you will need on the CSC. The next feature we will review is the CSC calendar. Within the CSC calendar, you can view past and future events. By clicking on a specific event, you can see the description of the event, the link to register, or view a recording of past events when applicable. Also, without a CSC profile, you can view the most recent content and information posted by taking a glance at the New to the CSC section. This carousel will cycle through any recent updates to the CSC knowledge base, which are clickable and will directly navigate you to the resource. Finally, you can view key resources located at the bottom of the page. These resources will provide information for obtaining CDC recognition and delivering the program. Now we will move into features of the CSC that require a login to access. If you choose to log in, you will be taken to the login screen. As we demonstrated earlier, anyone who is new to the CSC will select register and provide specific information for your organization. If you have already registered, simply log in using your registered email and password. Once logged in, you will have the ability to submit questions to CDC representatives, participate in discussions on the community discussion board, submit success stories for your organization, and provide general feedback to our team. First, we will demonstrate submitting questions to the CSC. When you're logged in, you can submit a support request by selecting Contact Support or by selecting the Technical Support Request tile button located in the center of the homepage. On this page, you can submit a question to a CDC representative, also known as a technical assistance inquiry, inquire about website support, or update your organization's contact information. A website support request may be an issue with the site, such as, I forgot my password and need assistance. Technical assistance is related to programmatic national DPP questions. Let's practice submitting a technical assistance request. First, select an inquiry type. Then, select an inquiry topic. Then, select an topic if it's necessary. This will help narrow down your support for our coordinators. If you start to enter the subject of your request and provide information in the description field, resources will automatically populate on the right, hopefully to help answer your question. If you've already reviewed these resources and still feel the need to submit a request, you can continue to do so. Once a request is submitted, under My Requests, you can see every request that you've ever submitted to the CSC and you can interact directly with your technical assistance coordinator on your active requests through comments. You can also see the status of your cases at any time. Again, nobody can see your cases because they're associated with your unique username. In addition to participating in the community discussions and submitting requests to the CDC representatives, you can use the CSC to submit feedback to the CDC. Under Contact Us, you can contact our support staff or submit a general feedback survey. You can also submit a success story using our CDC template. This feature gives you a chance to share success stories about how the national DPP has impacted your organization and the individuals you serve, or how the resources accessed through the CFC have impacted your organization and those you serve. Attachments can be added before a final submission. All submissions will undergo a CDC review process for the opportunity to be featured on the CSC or other CDC websites. Finally, with a profile on the CSC, you can also access our quarterly newsletters, which are distributed through the National DPP Info mailbox. This newsletter tab will serve as a repository for all of our prior newsletters, but signing up for a profile will ensure you are on the mailing list so that you get the most up-to-date newsletter as soon as it's released. In summary of today's presentation, the National DPP CSC provides a hub for resources, training, and technical assistance for potential and existing CDC-recognized program delivery organizations and other national DPP stakeholder groups. The CSC coordinates with, but does not replace, DPRP, key functions, or the National DPP website. The CSC contains a wealth of resources, frequently asked questions, and discussion posts to make it quick and easy for you to find the answers on your own and within the national DPP community. If you are unable to find the answers or resources on your own, you can register or log into the CSC to submit a request for technical assistance, and our CSC support team will be able to assist. Thank you for your time and for participating in the National DPP. Please be sure to check out the CSC at nationaldppcsc.cdc.gov to begin searching resources, discussing with the National DPP community, and submitting technical assistance requests.